Hello and welcome to this GCSE Foundation Level Lesson 11.8, snazzily titled Leaving Answers in Terms of Pi. Okay, so as we always do, our do now task is building on our prior learning, so it's looking back at what we learnt in the previous lessons. Pause the video and have a go at the questions, please. Remember to show full working out and think about the units at the end. Okay, so that was quite a starter, wasn't it? So let's have a look at the answers and see how you got on. Question 1, the area is 39.3 centimetres squared. Notice it's squared, the radius is 5. And the perimeter, you've got pi times 10 divided by 2, that's the half the circumference, plus the diameter of 10, 25.7 centimetres. Notice the area is in square centimetres and the perimeter is in centimetres. Part B is done in a similar way. These are the values I got. Part C, we've got a quarter of a circle, so we want a quarter of the area of the circle, and then be very careful with the perimeter because the diameter would have been 6, so it's pi times 6 divided by 4 because it's a quarter, that's the curved bit, plus the 2 3's or plus the 6. The final one, we find the area of the square and take away the area of the circle. So 20 squared is the area of the square, that's 400. And then pi times 10 squared, remember the radius of that circle in the middle there is 10, and hopefully you get 85.8 centimetres squared. Okay, so let's go on to our new learning, leaving answers in terms of pi. So, bronze is to be able to find the circumference and area of a circle. You've just done that, so that's that sorted. Silver, to be able to calculate the circumference and area of a circle. I've done that as well. And gold is to be able to solve problems and leave your answer in terms of pi. Now, pi is not just that button on your calculator, and it's not just that number 3.141592657 and so on and so on and so on. But on a non-calculator paper, think, what would you do? You couldn't type that in, you couldn't multiply by that long number, could you? So let's see what happens. Okay, so sometimes you do not want a numerical answer to a circle problem, but need to give it in terms of pi. You could, of course, use a calculator, but we're thinking in terms of pi. It's nice and easy. It's easier than what we've already done. So what's the circumference and the area of this circle? Leave your answers in terms of pi. That just means leave pi in your answer. So, circumference is pi times the diameter, so it's pi times 14. So we just write 14 pi centimetres. We don't need to work out the decimal at all. Area is pi r squared. Well, the radius, of course, is 7. So it's pi times 7 squared, and 7 squared is not 14, it's 49. So we've got 49 pi centimetres squared. I would copy that one down in your book as a nice clear example of what we're talking about. Pause the video while you do that. Okay, so what I recommend here is obviously pause the video while you have a go at them. For each one, I would draw yourself a diagram. Okay, pause the video, but notice at the top it says giving your answer in terms of pi. Okay, so pause the video while you do those, please. Okay, so these are the answers. At least I believe they are. Check your answers, pause the video here while you check your answers, and hopefully you've got everything correct. If you've made any errors, of course, don't forget you can contact your normal class teacher to see if they can help you. Pause the video while you mark them carefully. Notice the first ones are centimetres and the second ones are centimetres squared. Somewhere in your GCSE papers there will be one mark for the correct units, and we need to make sure we pick up every available mark we can. Okay, so let's move on. Questions 3, 4 and 5. 5 is quite tricky, so I personally would be drawing a diagram for each one, but pause the video and have a go at them, please. Okay, let's have a look at them. Those are the answers, but rather than just give you the answers for these, especially for 3 and 4, I thought I would show you. So question 3. The circumference is 50 pi. Find the radius. Well, the circumference is pi times diameter. So 50 pi is pi times the diameter. So therefore, if it's 50 pi and pi times d, d must be 50. So the diameter is 50 and the radius is half of it, 25 centimetres. It's the same sort of thing for question 4. So the area is pi times r squared. That means the area, which is 100 pi, is pi times r squared. Well, you can see there's a pi on each side, so the 100 and the r squared must be the same. So the radius is the square root of 100, which is 10 centimetres. And question 5 is on the whiteboard, so you can see the answer there. Quite a tricky question. Okay, so here you've got some half circles, you've got a quarter circle, you've got a composite shape. That was all the way back to lesson 2, but that's a rectangle if you look. Oh, don't those 2 half circles, semicircles make a full circle? So you need to draw the diagrams carefully and work through them, leaving your answers in terms of pi. In part C, you'll have a number and so many pi. Pause the video while you have a go at them, please. And here is question D. Again, it's find the area of the shape. Think how many circles you would make. Think what shape's in the middle and add them all together carefully. Draw the diagram, show all you're working out, and remember you'll have a number plus a number of pi at the end. And the answer, units will be in centimetres squared. Pause the video please while you do that. Okay, here are your answers. Check them carefully. If we look at part C, it says 16 pi plus 80. If you put it the other way round, 80 plus 16 pi, that's perfectly fine, centimetres squared. It's not fine to try and add them together and get 96 pi, that would be wrong. So either 16 pi plus 80 centimetres squared or 80 plus 16 pi centimetres squared. And it's the same idea with part D. Okay, so we've got one more question. Right, tough question. Okay, or is it a tough question? Maybe you should think about it. Pause the video, show you're working out, draw the diagrams. Pause the video while you have a go at them, please. Okay, there's your answers for 7A, B and C. I'm not sure if you had D on the diagram. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. So now we can review our learning, or we can't. Oh, crikey, that's an interesting one. We've got a semicircle and a circle in the middle. We've got to think, it tells you what, think about what the diameter of that circle is before you do it. So let's have a quick think. If the diameter of the big semicircle is 12, doesn't that make the big diameter of the diameter of the small circle 6, and therefore the radius of the small circle 3? That might be a clue for you. Show all you're working out, do it carefully. Pause the video while you do that. Okay, here's question 9. Oh yes, this is the last one. Okay, the one down the bottom there, we've got 4 options, and in your GCSE papers, 8 marks on each exam paper are for multiple choice questions, and we still find students just don't answer them sometimes. So don't guess, work it through carefully, and work out which of those is the correct area of the shape. Draw the diagram, show you working out, and pause the video while you do it. Okay, here's your answers for 8 and 9. Okay, so our success criteria is to recall how to find the circumference and area of a circle, then to be able to calculate the circumference and area of a circle, and then finally for this lesson to solve problems and leave your answers in terms of pi. If you've been with me all the way through the lesson, well done. Don't forget to go back and check to see if there's any purposeful practice work set by your teacher, or if there's any Hegarty maths work to be completed. I'm absolutely certain there's Hegarty maths work to be completed because I know I've set it for you. But well done, and I'll see you next time when we review our learning of Chapter 11, all on area. But well done.